Hello and welcome to our next adventure on Sea Pigeon. Today, Neil's going on a solo sail. It gets pretty rough out there, and I'm really glad that I'm at home in the garden. So stay tuned and see Neil get thoroughly knocked about by the waves.
Well, good morning. Just off for a solo sail in Plymouth Sound. Weather's looking about 15 to 20 knots. One of the things I tend to do when I'm sailing on my own is just up the safety ante a little bit. So just showing you a couple of things I always have prepped for solo sailing. One of them, of course, I have an EPIRB attached to myself, which is always useful. And both sides I have safety lines set up, so if I go up the front of the deck, then I will clip in.
I've often wondered as a solo sailor, if I went over and I had a tether on, could I self-rescue?
So yeah, let's go sailing.
Some other people have got the idea to go sailing for the day.
I'm not lassoing it, I'm just putting it in.
There you go.
Thanks.
Okay. Secure.
The lock gates are closed and ready to let the water out so we can get into the sound. I initially started with one reef in each sail, but the occasional 25 knot gust put the Sea Pigeon on its side a little bit, so I decided to put a second reef in both the main and the genoa. The two reef setup seemed to be ideal as Sea Pigeon got in its stride doing a steady 7 knots despite the rough lumpy sea. Our destination was the Eddystone lighthouse, roughly 12 miles out to sea. Many of the sailboats had decided to stay right behind the breakwater, so once I was sailing there was nobody out there. I'd bought a new camera and heavy gimbal to improve the quality of the filmmaking, but what I hadn't allowed for was the weight, and this was really difficult filming in the rough conditions. Really pleased with the bow on the Moody 33S. The chine tends to throw the water out and not allow it spraying so much on the deck.
Standing up is getting difficult now. I've set myself a target Smeaton's light of the Eddystone, but to be honest, the issues are getting up.
Given the heavy swell, Sea Pigeon immaculately maintained a lovely 7 knots in all of this rough weather. The camera never seems to be able to capture the size of the waves and the roughness.
challenging now. The wind's up to 22, 25 knots and the sea's getting a little bit rougher. Not far to go to the Eddystone, but woo! Doing this for fun apparently. Whoa, getting difficult to stand up.
Finally made the Eddystone lighthouse. I didn't get too close as it's there for a reason. It also stands on a reef, so the shallower water around it tends to throw up rough waves that come from all directions. So time to turn and head home and that hot cup of tea.
Finally back into Plymouth Sound. That was a bit more challenging than I thought. It got quite rough out there and I made the mistake of going downwind of the entrance to Plymouth Sound, so it was a hard batch trying to get back upwind to get into the Sound. But now in the Sound, yeah, can finally relax a little bit under autopilot and get prepped to go into the harbour. But have a look downstairs now. Even the cooker has come off its gimbal. So yeah, one of the bumpier rides I've had.